Good evening and welcome to Homer Center, Pennsylvania for today's District 6 quarterfinal between the Juniata Valley Hornets and the Homer Center Wildcats. My name is Joe Rhodes. Joining me, Caleb Palmer of Homer Center. Caleb, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining me here on this maiden voyage of Homer Center Live.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We've done a little bit with students in the past at West Shamokin and never really had a chance to do anything in any of the other schools in the Heritage Conference, so great to be here with you tonight and great to watch what should be a pretty exciting volleyball game. Of course, Homer Center, the bye in the first round of the playoffs, Juniata Valley winning in 3 straight sets in their game against Mo Valley. So going to be interesting. I always wonder in matchups like this, Caleb, does it benefit the team that got the rest and got that bye and didn't have to maybe put the wear and tear on their playoff bodies, or in the case of Juniata Valley, maybe being a little warmed up, getting some momentum, playing what their coach called one of their best games of the season. So, your coach was just telling me about you being on the baseball team. Tell me your perspective. How might this play out in that rest factor versus the momentum factor?
I think Homer's got to watch out for Juniata Valley, especially with the momentum they're carrying into the game, being hyped and winning 3 straight sets. Homer can't fall asleep, or I think it'll be a rough one for them. So they got to keep their head on the swivel and watch tips and stuff like that.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I don't know how much Heritage Conference volleyball you pay attention to, but really stacked league this year. You talk about Homer Center, who comes in this as the number 2 seed, Caleb, but they didn't play in the Final Four, either the semifinals in the Heritage Conference Championship. So to be a number 2 seed in the district, but you didn't play you weren't considered a top 4 team in your conference, that really says about how the depth of the Heritage Conference was this year. And you wonder, too, if Homer Center has sort of a chip on their shoulder as well, with that being the case.
Yeah.
So Juniata Valley, again, comes in as the number 7 seed, Homer the number 2 seed. Just to give you kind of a recap on what Juniata Valley did do to Mo Valley in their first-round matchup. They won 25-13 in set number 1, 25-17 in set number 2, and then 25-15 to close out that first-round matchup. And as we mentioned, all indications from the Juniata Valley side, that was one of their best games of the season, Caleb. So, it's said maybe too much, too often in sports, but peaking at the right time, and that might be what Juniata Valley is doing right now. And as you mentioned, too, a team to kind of watch out for, despite their 7th seed. You can't take them lightly.
Yeah.
Should also mention Flint Kinner here doing the production work for us. Thanks, Flint, as always. I said thank you I'm telling the fine people out there that thank you for your services here tonight as our producer. But Caleb, I was a Marion Center kid, believe it or not. So I'm very familiar with the Heritage Conference. You're getting a different taste of the Heritage Conference because when I say back in my day, it was a much smaller conference. Now it's kind of swelling. You get Cambria Heights, you get Conemaugh Township, Conemaugh Valley, Portage. And you're kind of seeing that transform. You're a senior, I believe, yes?
Yeah.
So you've kind of got to see these new teams kind of enter the conference. What is it like for you seeing these new teams enter and watch the Heritage kind of blossom and grow into sort of a larger and more formidable conference?
Personally, I really like the expansion. I feel like we're getting more teams in. We are having more competition, and overall, we're just making more friendships. You're not just playing the same team over and over again. You're growing, you're meeting new people, and that's what it's all about.
I am curious, though, about the travel factor because I'm going to date myself. We had Ligonier Valley, of course, in the conference. They just left recently. But there was another school known as Laurel Valley, and that was the combination. They kind of merged with Ligonier Valley, so they all each the same. But back in my day, those were some of the trips, the bus rides that were probably least enjoyable, having to trek the whole way from Marion Center down to Ligonier. But that's the thing now. You're making some pretty long trips here in the Heritage Conference when you think about some of these schools that they're adding east of where we reside right now.
Yeah.
But excited to be here. Again, the kind of maiden voyage of Homer Center Live. My voice. Yes. I'm getting bumped here. That's moving. Is that what you're telling me? You're excited about this? I'm excited too. The camera is moving. We're going to have different angles for you here tonight just to kind of make sure you get the best playoff experience possible here. Juniata Valley, I'm trying to think how long that trip is. It's a poke.
Yeah, I think it's like an hour and 30, something like
Just an
that.
hour and 30. You know, if you actually look at District 6 on a map, too, it is so vast.
Yeah.
There are a lot of very uninhabited regions of Pennsylvania when you start getting out there in the hinterlands. But District 6, very spread out. And this is kind of important, too, this time of year. You want to get those home games. You know, if Homer Center can win tonight, they'll also clinch another home match in the semifinal round, of course. I should know this. This is my fault. I should be a better sports broadcaster than this, Caleb. I don't know who's on the other side of the bracket, but I can say for certain that it will be a seed that is lower than Homer Center, being that they're the two.
Yeah.
So a nice thing, I'm sure it's, and I can speak to this as well, but nice to play in front of your home crowds. It is a venue I know a lot of heritage teams used to get up to play in. I know when I played basketball here, it was a place that, you get up and play for, and I'm sure it's home to you, so I'm sure it's a venue that a lot of you guys here at Homer Center like to play at when you can.
Yeah, it's called the Homer Dome, and we have a lot of pride in it, and we say it's like the pride of all basketball, and everything here when you play in here, it's a special place. So you gotta take every moment you're here, in full opportunity.
I should mention I'm 3-0 in the Homer Dome, but that was like eons ago. You probably weren't even a twinkle in your parents' eye at that point, Caleb, but still, I have to hold on to that. But it is a venue that's very unique. I don't think there's really any other venue like it in the Heritage Conference. The dome shape, if that's what you want to call it. But the depth perception here, too, is always something to kind of watch out for. It's a little different than playing in a Purchase Line or a Marion Center or a Penn's Manor, all sort of similar for the most part. But certainly a unique venue, and glad to be here with you here tonight, Caleb, and glad to be here with all you folks on this maiden voyage of Homer Center Live on YouTube tonight. We're going to take a little breather, get ready for this game between Juniata Valley, the number 7 seed, and the Homer Center Wildcats, the 2nd seed here in this Class A quarterfinal game. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Good evening and welcome to the Homer District 6 Class A girls volleyball for you tonight. This is quarterfinal round action. We have Hornets, the second seed in Class A, take on the second seed, Homer Center leading Wildcats. We'd like to extend a warm welcome to you and thank you for attending this evening's contest. Homer Center School District, Juniata, representatives positive interscholastic interactions. Actions meant to demean public contestants, teams, spectators, and officials not tolerated. Respect. We have to take personal responsibility for this contest. Free of any punishment.
As soon as he's done, I'll switch to this.
High school. This time, I would like to ask everyone to please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. If we may respect for this great country with the flag of our national anthem. Thank you. Now, let's make that second line of the game. First up, number 31, Brandon Hall. Next up, center court number 20, Selena Sunderland. Next up, middle hitter number 23, Betsy Watson. Next up, Haley Thompson. Middle hitter number 4, center. Rocky. Also, number 16. Our center leading Wildcats, 4-9. Number 4, Michaela Fairbanks. Next up, Rivera, Grace Fraser.
And those were your starting lineups for this District 6 Class A quarterfinal here from Homer Center, Pennsylvania. Homer Center Wildcats, Juniata Valley Hornets. Joe Rhodes Caleb Palmer joining you here tonight. Glad to be here on Homer Center Live. Got to get used to saying that, Caleb. My voice might be familiar to some, but on not on Homer Center Live. But glad to be here, like I said. Nonetheless, Caleb, glad to be here with you. Always enjoy taking a game and do it with a new voice, and that'll be the case here tonight with you. But, you know, the first observation here watching these starting lineups, a little bit of size for Juniata Valley, something that obviously can cause a lot of team fits, and that's going to be something to kind of watch for. And then a name that stood out to me doing a little bit of research was Ali Radke for Juniata Valley. Great from the service line, really was dominant from that spot in the first round victory over Mo Valley. So Homer's going to have to be on the ball, no pun intended, whenever she's at the service line. And also with that height that we mentioned, going to have to be stout up front as well. But Homer with a little bit of height of their own too, Caleb. Homer Center will be on your right. Juniata Valley wearing green, white sleeves will be on your left. The number 7 seed, Juniata Valley. About to get things underway. Back at the service line to start for the Hornets will be number 20. I believe that is Selena Sunderland. And another thing I observed there too, Caleb, a lot of seniors out there tonight for Homer Center.
Yeah.
A good run the last 2 years, as you mentioned, and when we were off the air. A team that played in back-to-back district championship games. Unfortunately, the runner-up in both of those, so trying to go out possibly as champions this year with this large group of seniors. Volley across Williams. Set to number 34 there with that big smash was Ashley Kerr. And the first point will go to the Wildcats. A good volley there, and Homer looking strong in the passing game here early on too, Caleb.
Yeah, Elena Fabian moved to middle from right side hitter, and I think that was a good switch for the Wildcats. It got a little bit more height in the middle.
Height never a bad thing, certainly in sports. Volleyball, no exception, and that's a little bit long there. One of the many seniors on this team there, Caleb, number 14, I believe. Grace Frazier a little long, and that one ties this one up at 1 apiece. That one out of play and serve back to the Wildcats. And I think this goes without saying, Caleb, playoff time, you got to keep the mistakes to a minimum.
Yeah.
Service error right there by Juniata Valley. Gets the ball right back to the Wildcats, who get an ace right there from the service line. Number 34, Ashley Kerr. So she'll remain there. 3-1 lead for the Wildcats. And there she goes again, another ace for Kerr. So we kind of said about how Juniata Valley excelled from the service line in their victory in the first round matchup against Mo Valley. Homer kind of doing that to Juniata Valley right now. Volleying across. Difficulty on that service again. Set.
Ooh.
And Williams with a smash there. The Wildcats take a 4-1 lead. It's always important. Again, it's going to sound like I'm just speaking common sense here, but getting out to a fast start here, obviously important in a playoff game. And Homer looking impressive out of the gates. Say into the net there. Just a little bit, the momentum. That serve long. Serve back to Juniata Valley trailing 6-2. And a point to the Wildcats. So whenever they lose service, it seems like they're getting it back quickly here, Caleb.
Yeah.
So I believe Fabian back to the service line now for Homer, number 18, lefty, sent it flying, and that's long. So service errors back and forth right now. 7-3 though, Homer out in front. And set number 1. Yeah, 2 years ago, Homer falling to Bishop Guilfoyle in that championship game, and that one goes flying. Wouldn't want to be in front of that one, Caleb.
Yeah.
A point to the Wildcats, and good passing. That's the thing that's standing out to me. Obviously, both teams a little bit off on the service game here early on, but Homer doing a great job of passing and putting their hitters in good positions. 8-3, Homer in front. And that's a good spot there. Give credit to Ellie Minyara, the outside hitter for Juniata Valley, kind of finding that soft spot where no one kind of was for the point. 8-4 now, Homer in front. Set number 1. That's not volleyball. Search that. Sorry about that. 8-5, Juniata Valley. I think the first time they've gotten consecutive points, if I'm not mistaken, Caleb.
Yeah.
So that's a sign of things improving for them. We'll see. And Williams. You know, Megan Williams, one of those players we talk about, 2 straight district championship games, Caleb. Kind of a front and center player from the very start. A big role as a sophomore, and that hasn't obviously changed here now in her senior year. Didn't really see what the whistle was for there. Oh, they're going to point to the Wildcats.
I think it was a double hit.
Okay. So 10-5. Another service error. That one way long by Williams. And the serve will go back to the Hornets. We're trying to figure out how long this trek was for the Hornets to get here. I think it's a poke.
Yeah. It's far drive.
That one smoked, but a nice dig on the side of Juniata Valley by Maddie Hopsicker. Williams with it, and just a bit long. So don't look now. Juniata Valley down by just 3, 10-7 the score in this District 6 Class A quarterfinal. Blocked down, but out of play. Nice job once again. I don't want to keep saying it until my eyes turn blue here, Caleb, but really impressive start by Hannah Arone, the setter.
Yeah.
Doing a great job of putting those hitters in a good position. She really hasn't missed thus far. A tough play there. Fabian made a play on it. If she would have just let that one go, it looked like it would have came back to that back row and been a point in favor of, or at least let the volley continue, but as a result, knockdown drops on the side of Homer, now 11-8 your score. Nice save by the Wildcats. Let's go. Why don't you pull it up on your phone? So 12-8 now, the score. Back set there, just sent across. looping. And that one drops. Williams, nothing she could do about that. Give credit to these Hornets.
Seems like they're finding the dead spots a lot of this Homer defense.
That's a great observation, Caleb. They kind of just sometimes been a little more with a little more finesse, like you saw in that one, just dropping it over the head of that front row, and Williams had to dive for it. Gave it her all, but just not enough on that particular play. 12-9 now the score. And another point to the Hornets.
Way down 2 now. They're making a little comeback.
And making this one competitive for sure. Trying to dispel any notion that the 7 seed is fitting of their ability. Nice dig in the back row there by number 31. I'm not seeing that number on the Juniata Valley roster here. I believe that's 31. Yeah, the libero. Apologize to that young lady. Don't have her name here. Unless it's listed as libero. Maybe Braylon Hall or Caitlin Sager.
Braylon Hall.
There you go. So nice job by her in the back row in that particular instance. 13-10 the score. And a point for the Wildcats. So kind of steering the ship back on track here of the Wildcats after the lead shrunk to as little as 2. (14-10). Service back to the Wildcats. That was Ashlyn Kerr, and the point will go to Homer. Service line providing a lot of points here so far, be it service errors or aces here. Homer, I think, getting the better end of that in terms of the scoreboard. Sent across. This one knocked down. Yep, nice save. Free ball across. Williams trying to go cross court but can't keep it in. 15-11 now the score in set number 1. First set here in this District 6 Class Single A matchup. That one blocked but out of play. Free ball across there by Juniata Valley. Nice set again by Roan. That one hit and drops in. A little bit of twine involved, but give credit to number 29, Caleb.
Emily Rouser.
There you go. You don't need a roster. So Rouser with the point there, and the lead back up to 6. Got to admire the resiliency, too, of the Wildcats here. Letting those Hornets back into it. As pesky as they've been, back up by 6. It's Homer center. Williams tries pushing it across and goes to her non-dominant side there. Tough play for her, having to kind of swat that with her left hand. It goes into the net. And the point for Juniata Valley. Williams trying her hardest, but they're going to say, yep. Good call. And Juniata Valley not going to go away quickly here tonight, Caleb.
No.
And another point to the Hornets, so.
Homer's having some mental mistakes right now. We got to walk back in and figure it out.
Yeah, I think this first set's been sort of a, varying mistakes, be it from the service liner, as you said, right there into the net. Both teams, and that's a tough one there. Trying to lay off of it, but couldn't get out of the way was Elena Fabian. So I think that's 5 straight points, if I'm not mistaken. Caleb, 4. 5 or 4. I'm not a math guy.
I think it's 4. I'd say 4.
For anybody who knows me out there, and I do commentary on a network I'm more familiar to, I always say I'm not a math guy. more of a sports guy. That's a good enough excuse. 15-17, down by just 2 again, but Williams sends that one flying, and I think she's going to be probably the biggest reason why this team, and wherever they go, whenever they bow out of the playoffs or as far as they go, they're going to go as far as I think Megan Williams takes them.
They're gonna teams are gonna have to figure a way out to stop her, and
just a kind of a different sound coming off her hand.
yeah,
This one out of play. And nice try there by Kerr, but that one got on her quickly, and 18-16 the score. Both teams are probably going to be kicking themselves, I think, after this set because the number of mistakes that their opponents, whether it be Juniata Valley or Homer Center, they're going to wish that they kind of limited their own because really any team could have won this if mistakes were fewer. Homer with a point there. That pass errant into the net. So Williams will take the service now for Homer. And that one out of play and a timeout by Juniata Valley. So we'll take a timeout here on Homer Center Live with Caleb Palmer, Joe Rhodes. We'll be back after a quick message from our sponsors. Hey, can you do scoreboard or something? Because I can't transition and do scoreboard. It's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy times like 5. Huh? Yeah. Would you, Caleb? It's super easy.
yeah.
I'll run one more high top immersion. And welcome back to Homer Center, Pennsylvania, the District 6 Class A quarterfinals. Timeout taken by Juniata Valley. Homer with the service, leading 20-16 in this quarterfinal matchup. Winner will advance to the Final Four of this Class A bracket. Dropping in, Arone with the set. Williams having to kind of lunge for it, but I think into the net. Or no, just saying double hit.
Yeah, I think that was the call was.
Oh, they're going to say.
Or maybe in the net.
Yeah, I think it was in the net. So Homer with the point there, now leading by 5. Williams going to take a strike at this one. Catches the twine. Chance now by Juniata, but Williams with the dig, and that one's going to just drop on the side of Juniata Valley. A lot of plays at the net here. A lot of jousting there, and we kind of said with the height of both these teams, it's going to be interesting to see who won that kind of battle in the trenches, if you want to call it that. 22-16 the score. Juniata Valley not able to slow things down after that timeout. Homer scored now 3 consecutive points, I think, coming out of that, now leading by 6. Or, excuse me, I can't count again. Caleb, that's 7. Math. 24-16. So again, we call them coaches' timeouts in volleyball. Caleb, and you thought that maybe Juniata Valley would benefit from that timeout late in the set, but Homer,
not really.
Yeah, not slowing up at all. Now up by, I think, their largest margin here so far, 8. Could be wrong there. Again, don't do numbers well, but that one knocked out of play, and that will be the end of set number 1. Battling back and forth for most of it. Homer with some bigger leads, and Juniata Valley battling back, cutting it down to 2 a couple times in a couple instances there, Caleb. But at the end of the day, there Homer able to prevail 25-16. What did you see there in set number 1?
At the end, Homer was gaining more momentum. I think a big key is going to be carrying that into the second set, obviously. Juniata, they have to reset. They know they can hang with this team. They're battling back within 2 points at times. So both teams just going to take a break and then see what happens in the second set.
Yeah, kind of sloppy play, I
Yeah.
think. And, maybe a little more to be expected from Homer, who got that first
With the
round
bye.
bye. You can't necessarily blame them too much. That bye, like we were kind of talking about in the pregame, is it beneficial? Is it not? That might be kind of the problem for Homer Center. But Juniata Valley playing very recently, playing well. Their coach kind of describing it as hitting the peak at the right time. And that maybe not their best set. I'm sure both teams, as I said, whoever lost that was going to look back on it and say, if we limit mistakes, we could have very well won that because both teams were kind of mistake prone in that set. I want to take a moment, too, to give a shout out to this broadcast sponsor this evening. Really glad to have them aboard, and PMA really stepping up and doing a good job making sure that this broadcast is available to you out there wherever you may be here on Homer Center Live. And my maiden voyage on it, Caleb, you can say that you've done as many broadcasts on Homer Center Live as I have. I might have you beaten total broadcasts all time, but we're neck and neck now for broadcast here on Homer Center Live. Glad to be a part of this. Always glad to see students here with the enthusiasm to take on broadcasts. It's a great thing to do. I get to do it for a living, and as a result, I don't feel like I'm doing very much throughout my days. So glad to have you aboard. Certainly hope you enjoy yourself tonight. And
thank you.
You're always welcome to hop on board with us anytime we're around the area. For our friends over at High Top Sports Network, I'm one of them. But tonight we're a student-run organization. We're glad to kind of follow your lead and watch you kind of grow before our eyes kind of here tonight and enjoy some playoff volleyball. It's playoff season, as I said before. SZN, yes. Is that correct? Did I use that right?
Yeah.
There you go. I'm gonna try to make old jokes, and it's Caleb's just gonna look at me like I'm a dinosaur, which I was telling him when I graduated, and I don't think he even remembers that because he wasn't alive. 2006. You weren't born yet, I'm assuming.
No, I was. I was like.
What month though?
I was born in August 2005.
Okay, yeah, you were around. You were barely kicking it old school at that point. I was cutting my teeth as a senior, getting ready to go to college and do Lord knows what at Slippery Rock University, the best times of my life. We don't have So set number 2 underway. Whoop, sorry, make sure we switch that transition back for you there. Dig, save, nothing that Homer could do there. Tough play. Give credit for the hustle, but the Wildcats will fall in that first point here.
Is it touchscreen?
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
So, move that for him. Caleb going to take on the scoreboard for us. Service into the net and point over to these are away points here. And then, so it's just these two for this game. Then you'll see it right there.
1 point.
But, there's kind of the sloppiness of that first set kind of trickling in here so far in the second set.
Yeah.
Caleb, again, whoever doesn't win this might be kicking themselves. And a point to Homer, so much like that first set.
Homer's carrying the momentum back into it, which is obviously positive for them.
And certainly seems as though in a good spot with Kerr at the service line. Kerr with the dig there. Roan with a nice set. Williams able to sneak that one in. What a nice play there going cross court, and another great set by Arone. And just like that, Homer out to a is it 4-1 before that, or is it 5-1 now? Must be 4-1.
I think it's 4-1.
I trust the people at the scoreboard more than I trust myself. So the service stays with Homer. And a kill there. Nice job taking that one just as it came across the net. Number 18, Elena Fabian, sending that one home. And the 5-1 now the score. Homer center out in front. This one, or this set, looking a little more clean for the Wildcats. Williams, the recipient of another great pass there. And 6-1, Homer center out in front. Caleb looking a little more fresh coming out of the gates here in this set.
Just a warm-up set before that. Homer Center needed it.
Juniata Valley obviously winning in 3 straight games in their first round matchup against Moshannon Valley. And Williams sending that one home. 7-1 the score. And you say good defense leads to offense, and kind of the case there is Williams strong at the net, and Kerr will continue her long run at the service line, Caleb.
Yeah.
Kerr jump serve across. Nice save there by Homer Center. And the point to the Wildcats, 7-1, and got to wonder when that timeout's going to come from the Juniata Valley sideline. Don't want to let Homer get too much momentum here, up 8-1. Kerr still at that service line where she's been for the entirety of this set. And I think I jinxed her there, Caleb. Commentator's curse, as we call it, 8-2 now. Service finally back over to Juniata Valley, number 23. That is, of course, Cassidy Watson. Will put that one in the net, and there's another service error by the Hornets. And boy, oh boy, self-inflicted wounds so far. Heavy on the side of the Hornets.
Yep.
9-2 now your score. Fabian, the lefty, jump serve across. Good serve. Dug out. Trying to save it and just free balling it across were the Hornets. And that one, kind of a miscommunication there. A couple players backed off, it seemed, and having to make sort of a lunging attempt at the end there. But Homer kind of rolling now, 10-2, Caleb.
Yeah, a lot of momentum going in.
That one long, 11-2. And
There's a timeout.
yeah, I was gonna wonder. I'm kind of starting to wonder when that was gonna happen, but you can't let this one get too far out of hand. And Homer up by 9. I don't think they led by 9 at any point in that first set. Right now,
I think the largest with it was 8.
And you saw Juniata get that point, finally get the service back after Kerr had that long stint at the service line. And what did they do? Put it right back into the net. So it's like you got to capitalize when you have that opportunity, especially with a team Homer kind of starting out a little rusty as well, but they've kind of shaken that off since. And if you're going to give the ball right back to them, you're not going to fare very well here in a best of 5 series here, playoff time. No opponent's going to be easy.
Yeah, good job by Homer though to limit their mistakes coming into the second set and capitalizing on the Hornets.
So Fabian will return to the service line. It seems like we've been watching serves from this side of the net pretty much all night, at least the last 13 points. And point to the Hornets. So, again, commentator's curse there again, Caleb. I'm just going to shut my mouth. – 11-3 the score. Ooh, that one sneaking in. Oh, that was awfully close. Wait, they get the point to, was that I think the point went to Homer. Yep.
Yeah, they gave it to Homer.
Man, oh man. I think that was Fabian, correct?
Yeah.
She going cross court, not an easy play to make, but An excellent job there. Free ball across. Not too many good offensive opportunities here for Juniata Valley here. Just sort of a lot of free balls across and giving Homer plenty of opportunity to set up their offense. And credit there, block, but out of play. And now a 10-point advantage for Homer, the first double-digit lead, I think.
Yeah, the whole game.
About the memory of a goldfish, apparently, Caleb. 13-3 the score. Blocked down by Williams. Climbing the ladder there to put the Wildcats up 14-3 now. Kind of night and day from that first set. Sent across there by Grace Frazier. That one, a wall created between Arone and Williams, knocking down that attempt by the Hornets' Ellie Minyara. But nothing doing, 15-3 the score. Sent across by Frazier. Again, another missed opportunity, just a free ball across by Juniata Valley. Good set by Arone and Williams. Chance there, dugout. Arone, the set, and that one, maybe the first bad set I've seen by Arone all night. She's been sharp.
Yeah, she's looking good today.
But that one just a little bit out of the reach of Williams, and the score now 15-4. Homer center leading Juniata Valley here. And Minyara, the aforementioned outside hitter of Juniata Valley, will step to the service line, send this one across, but in to the net. Caleb, that's been a big storyline here in this game. A lot of service errors by the Hornets.
Yeah, that's not going to win you many games.
Williams a chance back row, dugout. Arone to Williams. That one.
What a swing.
That was a heck of a swing from pretty far back behind the net and snuck that in that back corner. And all the Hornets could do was look and watch it drop. And now Williams will be rewarded with her for her efforts with the service. 17-4. That one will go to Homer, I believe. Yep, into the net. Net violation, I do believe, Caleb, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's what it was.
So 18-4 now the score. Williams with the serve. That one into the net. 18-5. Williams free ball across.
Good fit.
Eighteen to 6. Tip the cross. Chance now maybe for Juniata Valley, but they got lucky on that one. Another tough set. Just goes on the side of Homer. It's like they didn't really expect it to come across, and as a result, kind of just sneaks in there. And chance now for Juniata Valley, now trailing by 11. Over the head of Williams, just throws a fist at it and out of play. So give credit. Juniata Valley not going quiet into the night. And I think the first time they've gotten consecutive points in this set, if I'm not mistaken. Dug out, hard serve, battle at the net. Blocked down there by number 23, Cassidy Watson, the middle hitter for Juniata Valley. And 3 consecutive points now, Caleb, and only down by 9. Chance that one long. So a little don't call it a comeback,
Yeah.
but a chance here for Juniata Valley, cutting it down to 8, and another hard serve.
Good play. Nice play by the Hornets.
And a point to the Hornets. So, though bees typically don't have claws, but these particular bees are scratching and clawing back in this one. But Homer with the point there, 19-10 the score. District 6 Class A quarterfinal. That one out of play, just missing there, and frustration on the face of Cassidy Watson, knowing she just missed. Back to the service line. That one long. So that service error bug kind of biting both teams once again, like it did in that first set, early in the first set. That time a little long by number 28. Caleb, who's the libero?
Olivia Stambulia.
There you go. And that one dropping in another point for the Hornets, and you got to give them credit. They've been kind of beaten down early in some of these sets, but fight back, and they're not just going to, as I said earlier, go away quietly into the night. They're going to keep battling, are these Hornets. Chance now for Juniata Valley, and off the
Dead spot of Homer again.
Yep. Give credit there, kind of seeing that dead spot you spoke of, Caleb, and just off the outstretched hands of number 4 on the Homer Center side.
Michaela Fairbanks.
Yep, Fairbanks. 20-13 to score. Free ball across, dug out, chance for somehow saving that one was Allison Rodkey, and rewarded for her effort, helping her team cut the lead down to 6, 20-14. Still kind of a sloppy game here, Caleb.
Yeah.
I'm sure that whoever comes away with this quarterfinal matchup, their coach is going to have plenty of criticisms, I think, for their team before they get to the semifinals. Blocked down.
Hornets are showing they're here.
Yeah, Cassidy Watson there with the block on the side of Juniata Valley, 20-15 now. So I think the largest lead, was it 10 or did they get to 11? I
think they got to 11 once.
So
that was definitely the largest.
Yeah, 6-point swing since then. Williams struck, but nice dig in the back row by the libero. That one blocked down by Arone. Arone, not just a good passer, showing off the defense there at the net. 21-15 the score. Serve across, that one out of play. Arone with the ace. Homer Center 3 points away from taking a 2-0 lead in this quarterfinal. That one into the net. Chance there, but a miss hit on the side of Homer Center. Maggie Voida. Service back to Juniata Valley, 22-16.
Nice block.
22-17 now.
That moved to 5.
Yeah, you got to give Juniata Valley credit. They don't go away.
Yeah.
They could have kind of put their tails between their legs and went home. Nice strike there by Fabian. First time we got to call her name here in a little bit.
Yeah.
She's another important piece that I think is going to be crucial for Homer Center down this playoff stretch. 23-17, and the point to Homer Center, make it 24-17. 1 point away from a set victory here in set number 2. Kerr had that long run at the service line. Another good serve right there. Sent right across, though. Arone. Fabian struck. What a save.
Yeah.
That one trickling over. A nice diving attempt by Williams. Another nice save. Good volley going on now between these two squads. Arone. Williams. That one is perfect, and it stays in. And
Nice
Homer
playment.
with a 25-17 victory in set number 2. Caleb, man, oh man, Homer Center looking a little bit more crisp in that second set, jumping out to a big 11-point lead, as we mentioned, but still kind of letting the Hornets creep back in with some self-inflicted wounds of their own. Certainly the Hornets, I think, are still leading in that category, kind of hurting their own cause more than Homer has so far. But, again, I don't think we've seen as crisp play as we might have expected from these two teams.
Yeah. I'm sure Sherry Williams is probably giving the team the talk right now, saying that she's a little disappointed, saying we need to limit the mistakes, especially if we get in deeper in the playoffs, facing better teams. But
yeah, we could probably find this information. I'm trying to pat my head and rub my tummy here, as I joked before, switching scenes and talk at the same time. And I'm not smart enough to even do either of those tasks, Caleb. So if you're expecting me to do both, you're sadly mistaken out there, folks. I'm just happy to be here. I've called a couple games here in the past. I'm trying to think the last time I was here. I think it was last year for – yeah, it would have been last year for the – was it District 6 playoff game between Penns Manor and Homer Center?
yeah,
I believe. Down there we were sitting kind of center court for that. Always a great view for hoops, but this isn't a bad view for volleyball. You get kind of a nice perspective, and but again, always happy to be in this gym, and glad to be here with you. I hope you're having a good time, and hope the folks out there listening on Homer Center Live are enjoying themselves here. As Homer now out to a 2-0 lead. One more will clinch a spot in the semifinals. But we're going to take a quick break here, catch our breath, and we'll be back here on Homer Center Live in this quarterfinal matchup, between the Juniata Valley Hornets and the Homer Center Wildcats. That's right, bird's foot. Sorry to cut our friends at Bird's Foot Golf Club. My heaven on earth. I was there. Believe it or not, Caleb, I golfed this morning.
Oh, really?
And it's wild weather. Yeah, I was out there. It takes a lot for me to not to give up on the golf course for the year. Obviously, we have a long winter here in PA. The snow is my least favorite thing, I think, about this state. So the sleet and the bad rain this morning, it wasn't going to stop me. And I actually shot, believe it or not, I shot one of my better rounds of the year today. So that's just the way golf is. If you golf, you golfer?
Yeah, I golf. I actually work at the Indiana Country Club.
Nice, right on.
Yeah.
But you understand it then. It's you can't explain the stuff that happens on a golf course sometimes. You go out on a miserable day like this where all your balls are plugging and somehow still shoot a good round. It's
I actually played on Sunday.
Right on.
Bit, so.
Yeah, we had good weather there last week, but this week not so much. But back to the action here. Sorry, we're talking about golf, and that first point will go to the Hornets. Correct me if I'm wrong. They scored the first point, I know, in the last set. Did they score the first point in set number 1 too? I feel like they did.
I feel like they did too, actually.
Yeah, and it's just can't carry that momentum. Can these Hornets down 2-0 now? Trying to keep this one going, but Fabian with a smash. Fabian ties it up at 1 apiece, and as I said about Williams earlier, the same I think could be said about Fabian. When she's going, this team looks different. When she's hitting the ball well up front, this Homer team seems to have just a different look to them, and Arone puts that one in the net. Another service error.
It's been killing both teams all night.
Yeah, and Juniata Valley just unable to take advantage of the Homer mistakes. Williams. Marone. Fabian. That one just a bit long. Can't tell if that was 14. I think that was Rodkey who was thinking about putting a hand on that, but smartly lets it cruise past her out of play. And 3-1 the score now. Juniata Valley out to a rare lead and start a set. Good dig in the back row. Marone finding Williams. That one dug out again.
Nice
Give
play.
credit. Yeah, in the back row, the libero. But I think he said Hall, Braylon Hall, doing a good job back there for the Hornets. But despite two really nice digs on that particular volley, the point goes to Homer. And Ashlyn Kerr will step to the service line for Homer. That one sneaking in. Manera doing a good job there of pushing that one right down the line, sneaking it in.
Yeah, seems like Hornets again are finding more of this dead spot in the Homer defense.
Yeah, and it's you kind of your back's against the wall, nowhere to go here.
Yeah.
You're down 2-0. It's imagine what the feeling is for seniors.
Yeah.
In that huddle there between these last two sets. That one sneaking in as well. Homer Center down within a point, 4-3, Juniata Valley, and Fabian will take the ball and head to the service line. Their team down by a point here in set number 3. Free ball across, a common sight tonight for Juniata Valley. Not really able to set up their hitters as they would like, I'm sure. Rodkey free ball across. Williams a chance now, trying to drop it in. Another dig by Hall. Manera across, Arone. Tough set there, blocked down, and play continues, but out of play. Give credit. I mixed the word credit and hustle together, and I got crustled. And I said I'm not a math person. I'm not a word person either, apparently, Caleb, as Fabian puts that one right into the net. So shades of what Juniata Valley's done all night. They get a big point and then put it right in the net and give it back to their opponent. Homer doing it right there, 5-4 now. The Hornets in front. And a point in favor of the Wildcats, who tie it up at 5 apiece. A wild camera there, just on the move. Don't know what happened. Just got up and walked away. Arone now with the set. Williams with a good block there up front. And I think, Homer will have a chance to volley. Almost like Juniata Valley gave up on it, thought it was 3 hits.
Yeah.
Sent across, Williams with a chance, dropping that one in, and she does. Right between Hall and Ronke, and Caleb going back there a couple hits. It looked like they kind of thought that 3 hits had already taken place and gave up on it. Didn't really help their cause, it seemed there. Just not a good look there by Juniata Valley, who now trails by 1. Had a strong start, their strongest of the evening in any set. And back to trailing, as the case has been often here tonight. Got a play there. Not done yet. 6-6 the score. Substitutions in for Homer Center, number 4. Caleb, you're the Homer Center expert.
Michaela Fairbanks.
Fairbanks, yes. And then a service into the net. How many times have we said that here tonight?
It's been a lot, more than I can count.
Clearly more than I can count. Math, not my strong point. More words, apparently. We'll get through it here on Homer Center Live. Chance now for Juniata Valley, and sneaks in. That one well placed right between two Homer Center players for the kill. I want to say, was that Rodkey, number 14? Yeah.
I think that's who it was.
And she had a huge game in the first round matchup against Mo Valley. A big hit there. Nice job by Hall. And that guy took one off the girl piece. My man bouncing right back. 8-7. The Hornets back in front. That serve was a laser beam off of the hand of Braylon Hall. And that point dropping right in front of Hall. 8-8. Serve across. Chance now set. That one, miscommunication between Williams in the back row along with the libero number 28.
Olivia Stambolia.
Yeah, Stambolia. My numbers aren't accurate here. So anytime you hear me pause, just feel free to step in and help me with a name. Fairbanks there to Williams. Chance. That one, nothing doing. Kind of had to readjust. She kind of misjudged it, I think, in the air. Thought she could play it one way, couldn't. Had to adjust last minute, and the point back to Homer. And Juniata Valley just not able to get on any runs in this particular set. You know, whether it be a service error or what, Caleb. It's
stopping the Homer's momentum, but not able to have some of their own.
Yep. We saw them make a couple runs and show some fight in those first two sets, but they jumped out to the lead and have kind of let Homer hang around. And right there, another Homer point puts them up 10-9 in set number 3. Arone back to serve for the Wildcats. Sends it across. And the serve from Arone can't be handled. And
he's having a good game. Arone's having a real good game.
Absolutely. It's certainly, I think, in the running for player of the game. We'll have to name that at the end. Nothing official yet. And just as we say that, she puts it out of play. I'm telling you, there's such thing as a commentator's jinx. And we just did it right there, Caleb. Our apologies to Miss Arone. And that one, almost a near collision between Arone and number 14 of the Wildcats, Grace Frazier. So 11-11 now the score. We were talking about this bracket here. Juniata Valley and Homer facing off. The winner will get either Bishop Carroll or Bishop McCourt. A bishop of some sort. And the Hornets get the point there. Saying, not just yet, Joe. We're not. Don't count us out yet. Homer, the number 2 seed. The number 1 seed, of course, West Branch on the other side of the bracket, facing another Heritage Conference team, Purchase Line. That one out of play, and point to the Hornets, who now lead by 2. 11 for Homer Center, 13 for the away team. Ferndale and Portage on the other side of that bracket as well. And another service error by the Juniata Valley squad that has just been giving up points all night in that respect, and it's certainly showed on the scoreboard. Lead by a point, but they're going to ask themselves, what if they could have avoided some of those unforced errors. Hall with the save. Hall, I think, one of the bright spots in the night for this Juniata Valley squad. Roan with the set, trying to find Williams, just pushing it across. Hall with the dig. Nice dig by Kerr. Chance by Fabian, that one just a bit wide. Towards the student section over there. What do they call the student section here?
We don't really have a name. We call our student section. We just call it like hardcore fans. Like that was our name when we were like young, but no one really takes care of it right now. Like no one's in charge of it.
You got to take that serious. I know
Yeah.
some schools that there's like they bestow it upon a
Yeah.
class, like the next class after somebody graduates.
Yeah, I
got-
think we want to get back on it with basketball coming up. So
I
see
hope
how that
if we
turns
get a
out.
chance to call any games here in the winter, Caleb, I'll give you credit if that crowd over there is raucous. Also, too, what's up with the mascot looking real pixelated over there on the wall?
Which
Far
one?
side.
That one.
Doesn't he look a little pixelated?
Yeah, it's not even center with the bleachers. Is what we always laugh because whoever like drew it's like didn't think like they should line it up center. So that's always a joke.
And a timeout taken by the Wildcats. I think their first timeout, if I'm not mistaken, here, Caleb.
I think since first set maybe.
Yeah, 13. Flint here getting the zoom in on the pixelated cat. But you see what I mean? A little jagged around the edge. And it's definitely not centered. You are right, sir.
I think if you drop down, you can see it's not even lined up with the bleachers. There.
But it's a Wildcat nonetheless. It's a lot of unique features, obviously, here in the Homer Dome.
Yeah.
The windows are always kind of unique, too. Daylight, obviously basketball happening later in the day. I don't remember any light coming in here in, obviously, December.
No.
When hoop season is going on and when it's wrapping up in February. But
Yeah, if you have a morning practice, though, you'll see it. Like,
yeah.
it's nice sometimes. It's a change, like to be out here in the morning and be like, wow, can't believe sun goes through there.
I remember when I played here, there would be like balls sitting up where the American flag
yeah.
is. And I'm wondering, like, how long has that been there for?
Yeah, there actually was, just until last year, there was a pair of shoes up there someone threw up there. They just got it down like last year. And then we actually have like a soccer ball stuck in the ceiling from gym class, from my actual gym class, and we punted it.
I'm
It got
seeing
stuck
some
up there.
I'm seeing some birdies on this side. Probably been there since 2002.
Yeah.
Pushed across. Nice job by Arone to not go into the net. Again, she has been a standout tonight for these Wildcats. But 2 hits and a point to Juniata Valley. So a chance to stay alive. These Hornets up by 4. Oh. Sorry about that. That one deflected. Fabian sent that one flying, but a nice dig by Juniata Valley. A chance again, and that one, a rocket shot coming back over. Chance again, free ball. That one you just kind of stick your hands out and hope and pray, and worked out for the Hornets. And that one, another soft spot. And the 5-point advantage now for Juniata Valley. Free ball across. No offense really getting a chance to be set up by right now by Homer. Nearly a point there. Battle up front and point to the Wildcats. Give credit to Fabian there battling at the net. And as a result, the service finally back over to the Wildcats, trailing by 4. Fabian, left-hand serve. Rodkey, Williams, Arone, back to Williams. That one munched.
That's a swing.
A big swing there by Williams. Again, you see her becoming more visible. You saw the play by Fabian there at the net. And as I said, as those two go, so do these Wildcats. And they're now down by just 3 here in set number 3. Williams with an opportunity here. That one just a bit long. They want the deflection. Yep, point to the Wildcats. I think that's a good call. Did look like it kind of changed its trajectory
yeah, it did
there.
look like it went up.
Yeah, it looked like somebody got a mid on it, and credit to the judge over there on the far side that was able to key in on it. Yeah, the point's not correct up there on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Ashlyn Kerr looking like she's going to murk somebody. Not happy. Hey, is that right?
I thought it was 15-17. That's what I had.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yep. That one dropped across to Hall with the dig, and free ball across now for Juniata Valley. Another set by Arone right on the dot. Williams blocked down. She's going to push it across. And that is a heads-up play by Megan Williams. She gets that one blocked, throws a fist at it. Kind of, you could tell she was trying to direct it over where she saw that opening.
Seems like the Hornets though are like falling asleep after they get a big block and they just want to relax, but ball's still in play and it's when Homer's taking advantage of it.
Heck of a thing to notice right there, Caleb. You're exactly right. It seemed as though they almost acted as though they won the point already, and Williams not giving up on it and able to just kind of toss it across and find that far side that she's done all night long. Just a little too much mustard on that one.
Powerful swing though. I wouldn't want to be in front of it.
Nope, definitely not.
Good thing she's on my Thanksgiving volleyball team.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we do a tournament here, and I make sure I'm on her team. I don't want to be on the other side.
Is this a draft? If it's a draft, or are you taking her high in the draft?
It's like you just pick a team, and usually the volleyball girls always have a team, and I'm just like, yeah, I guess I'll play. I'll join your team because you all know what you're doing.
Not a bad move there. So a point to Juniata Valley, who's kind of let Homer creep back into it, but back up by 3, and see how they respond here late. And that one out of play. A good job there by Kerr to let that one go beyond her reach. And now a 2-point disadvantage for Homer, and the service back to their side of the net. Frazier. Free ball. Williams. Arone. Back to Williams. That one was perfection. Little give and go there between Williams and Arone. And Homer now trailing by just a point here in set number 3. Up 2-0, and can smell a berth in the semifinals if they can somehow put away these pesky Hornets. Williams with the block. And a point to Homer Center, who now has knotted things up at 19 all, and a coach's timeout attempt there for Juniata Valley. And Caleb, the budding expert here, what have you seen here in this third set from both of these clubs?
Homer was slow coming down the beginning part. The Hornets, they were up, and they're starting to lose momentum, but hopefully this timeout will still give them, they'll be able to keep the momentum. Homer's got to keep putting the foot on the gas and just put this one to rest.
Yeah, Homer Center, I think, collectively throughout the night, the better team.
Yeah.
But still not without mistakes and things that need corrected before the semifinal game, because as you well know and I well know, these games are only getting harder. The opponent's only going to get more difficult. And I think Homer's gotten away with some things here tonight. If they do end up the victor in this matchup, there's some things certainly to clean up. And if somehow Juniata Valley could scrape their way back into this one and somehow win, they're going to really have plenty of things to want to improve before the semifinal game here upcoming. And a serve out of play by Frazier. So good timeout there by Juniata Valley. A coach's timeout yields a point in favor of the visiting Hornets. And Yara, the outside hitter, with the serve there. A chance now. That one long. Just a bit hard off the hands of number 29, Emily Rouser. So a 2-point advantage, 21-19. Serve stays on the side of the Hornets.
Really long.
That one just sneaking out there. Dug out, chance by Juniata Valley. Sent Williams with a big save. Can anybody get to it? No. And
nice try though, but
yeah, give credit.
Good play by the Hornets.
Man, I'll tell you what. If there's been one player in this Homer Center side who's been on the hardwood more than anybody else, it's been Megan Williams, and you gotta credit her heart. She definitely has put the body on the line here tonight, and I can't question her hustle. It's, Flynn here going to give us a sort of a joystick ride around the Homer Dome. Take him for a spin here, Flint. On this maiden voyage on the Homer Center Live. Bringing you all the action, playoff action here in District 6 volleyball. Caleb, you got a winter sport?
Oh, yeah, I play basketball.
Right on. How's the team looking here this year?
I think we'll be decent. Obviously we're in a fall league up at Greensburg Central Catholic. Winning a couple games out there, but you know, just gotta keep working.
Yeah, Homer certainly with some very tradition teams here in recent history. That one off the hands of a Juniata Valley player, and the service back to Homer Center, who trails by 22-21.
Nice try though by our own, but
23-21. Juniata Valley will remain at the service line, sends it across, dugout. Chance now for Arone, another great set by her, but a free ball across, almost dropping it in, and the Wildcats somehow get a point out of that one, Caleb.
yeah. Good heads up play by Landon Fabian to see where there was a dead spot.
Indeed, a great play there by Fabian. 23-22, Homer with the serve, Arone at the service line. She's been mighty good all night, mighty consistent. Manyara with the dig, back set, Rodkey, and that one is off the antenna. A word I just recently learned. That's an antenna.
Antenna.
Yep.
I did not know that.
You're never too old to learn. 23 all. Homer Center with the serve. Arone sends it across.
Nice play by Ashton Clay right there.
And
Blocked
Homer
it.
Center looking like this might have been Juniata Valley's this set. Now with match point 24-23. Arone at the service line. Sent across. Nice set. Chance now. That one is long.
I thought it was in, but I couldn't. I don't really have the best view up
Yeah,
here.
Hall.
on the
Yeah,
other
Hall,
side.
yeah. Hall kind of got in the way there a little bit, but 24 all, got to win by 2. So we know we're going to get a little extra volleyball here, Caleb. Arone to Fabian. Fabian, that one dug out by Rodkey. Free ball across. Williams with the dig. Arone. That one will bounce off the top of the twine, and it will find its way to the floor. And a timeout by Juniata Valley. So we too will take a timeout here on Homer Center Live for Caleb Palmer. My name is Joe Rhodes. We'll see you here on the other side. What's up? No, you're right. And welcome back to this District 6 Class A quarterfinal presented by Prime Metals and Alloys. Want to thank Prime Metals and Alloys for bringing you the action tonight. Wherever you may be, make sure you give them a shout or anybody you know there. And that's a point to Homer Center, and that's match point. And the Wildcats survive and will play in the semifinal round against either Bishop Carroll or Bishop Guilfoyle. A Bishop nonetheless, and it wasn't always pretty here tonight, Caleb, but sometimes it's just a matter of getting the W. You know this. Not every day is your day. For the most part, I think Homer Center looks strong in a lot of areas. Again, some service errors, some mistakes. It's kind of letting Juniata Valley kind of crawl back into certain sets. But at the end of the day, they got the W, and plenty of time to reflect on this one and kind of fine-tune their game before they hit the semifinal round. We're going to give out, since Prime Metals and Alloys, a great sponsor here tonight, allowing us to do this here on Homer Center Live. Caleb Palmer, Joe Rhodes, Flint Kinner on the production here tonight. Super glad you guys could tune in and spend this evening with us. I'm trying to think what day of the week. Is this Monday? Is Monday? Yeah,
it's Monday.
See, when the Steelers lose on Sunday, I forget what day it is. Mondays always feel that much more rough, but feeling rough for probably some of those Juniata Valley players. You don't know yet, and I'm going to warn you, it's not fun whenever you play your last game.
Yeah.
It's a feeling that you know is coming, but you don't know how it feels until you actually get there. And certainly some emotions there, but that's the beauty of sport. And one team excited, their playoff run continues, and another ends. And so do some careers of some players on that side. But I think we're going to have to name a Prime Metals and Alloys player of the game. And let's see if you're thinking the same person I am, Caleb. Who's your vote for?
Ooh, it's either between Hannah Aron or Megan Williams, or Elena. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's a tough one. I'm actually have to give it to Hannah Aron just with her serves, and she's the one that sets up Megan Williams every play.
Megan Williams and Elena Fabian, when you think
Yeah.
about it. So certainly, you know, who feeds those hitters up front, their setter. And I think she kept her mistakes to a minimum, too.
Yeah.
When you look at, you know, that's nothing against Megan Williams, who's been, as I said, to start this broadcast, a big part of this team and a crucial part of their big wins in the past. And the same could be said about Fabian. But their setter was superb, made very little mistakes. You mentioned it, good from the service line and certainly passing the volleyball quite well. So our Prime Metals and Alloy player of the game, Hannah Roan. Congratulations to Hannah here in this Class A quarterfinal matchup in District 6. Again, Homer Center will advance. We'll play either Bishop. Your friends are waving at you. Give him a shout. You can wave at him. There he goes. Yep, he's allowed to wave. And now the Wildcats will await the winner of Bishop Carroll, Bishop McCourt. And a Bishop nonetheless, so we'll see. But they will host that game. So that's the good thing for Homer, that that game will be played here in these friendly confines, and plenty of time to clean that up. I'm trying to think here. I had the bracket pulled up before we let the folks off. That game will be played on Wednesday. So the 1st of November, that game will be here against, again, either Bishop Carroll, the number 3 seed, or McCourt. I said Guilfoyle, so I apologize. It's McCourt or Carroll in that game. And on the other side of the bracket, West Branch Purchase Line playing tonight, Ferndale Portage, and those results not made known to us. But you guys have the interweb out there. Just Google it. You'll find it, I think, maybe, possibly. But I think that about wraps it up for us, Caleb. Give me your impressions of the night. What did you really see from these teams, and what's Homer going to have to do to find themselves maybe in that championship game for a third straight year?
A lot of mistakes were made today at the service line, but you can blame that on them not having game experience in a week. But Homer was good. I thought they came back from a couple runs that Juniata was making. I think overall they're a strong team. They're going to be a really good contender, but they got to keep working. They can't get in their heads. They got to take every game like it's their last and keep playing, because you really never know when it is.
Amen to that. Well said. Great place to leave it. Before we sign off, I always want to make it time to thank our sponsors. Of course, tonight's big sponsor, and we'll make sure that folks know here. We'll get maybe a picture of Hannah Roan, and want to thank Prime Metals and Alloys for being tonight's sponsor, allowing us to do this and bring this game to you wherever you may be, free of charge. Some things in life aren't free, and the same could be said for games like here tonight. And when folks like that step up and make sure you guys are able to watch the game, I just want you to remind you guys to give them your love, give them your support. And tonight, Prime Metals and Alloys, the reason you're watching this game, wherever you may be. Of course, want to thank you, Caleb. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Great doing this. Hopefully we can get a chance to do it again. Caleb Palmer on color tonight. Also, too, want to thank, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Kurt Krajosic. Great tonight, helping us out, getting us all settled in here. I'll put in a good word with your coach. As he said to me when he dropped you off here, he's like, let me know how he does. But baseball season a ways away, so you can have to, maybe he'll forget by then if you would have done something wrong. But you did great. Thanks, Caleb.
Thank you.
And also want to thank Jody Rainey. Jody Rainey, a big influential part of the Heritage, not just the Heritage Conference, but things here at Homer Center. And Jody, awesome guy, and got to talk to him today. Always a pleasure getting to talk to Jody, and always glad to help Homer Center out. And as the case was here tonight in Homer Center Live, as the Wildcats come away with a 3-0 victory in the quarterfinal round against Juniata Valley here on Homer Center Live. So one final time for Caleb Palmer, Flint Kinner to my left, myself, Joe Rhodes. You guys have a great rest of your week, and may no train pass you by. We'll see you guys.